What's up? Sorry guys, I just woke up. So yesterday, my we had a graduation party for my daughter, and we had a lot of friends, over, and I had different friends from different walks, walks of life, and she got carried away. It got so bad, I vaguely recall friends carrying me to the room and tucking me in. So, yeah, I got really hammered. So, apologies. Like, I literally, I was up a little bit, and I just felt like I was riding on a roller coaster, and, damn. So anyway, what's up, Nutjob? What's up, Stalking Wolf? What's up, Garen? What's up, Paula? So yeah, guys, better late than never, right? So I figured, fuck it, this one, because my eyes are not focusing very well right now, so I'm not gonna do a reading, and my brain's not working well enough for me to do a legit real-time story time. So I figured we could do a question and answer type thing about Magic Really Sucks, because last week we finished the first book, and we're going to get started on the second book before too long here, and go from there. But I figured, fuck it, we'll do something that's a little different on this channel. On on the Angry Jackalope side, we go conspiracies and things of that nature. This one, oh, excuse me, see, I'm still burping up alcohol. Jesus, it's horrible. It's so horrible. But this one, I figured, fuck it, if there's something that you guys who have read the first book have questions about, I think I just saw a message that Garen and Paula, hey, what's up, Simicom? When's the movie coming out? Well, the movie, I'm still trying really hard to get the gal from Walking Dead, the one that was with Glenn. I'm trying to get Maggie. I'm trying to get Maggie to play Valk. She's playing hardball with me. She's not giving me the yes. And then I thought about it, and I'm looking at what's her name? Charlene Theron? Is that her name? The chick that's in the old guard coming out pretty soon. She's been playing some pretty interesting roles. I was like, yeah, she's a little old to be Valk, but I don't know. I kind of think she could still pull it off. Because Valk's supposed to be like her late 20s. But I don't know, that chick, Charlize Theron? Is that how you say her name? She's pretty badass. But yeah, as far as the movie coming out, man, I don't know. I wish it was legit, because it would be fun. I think it'd be really fun to work on a movie or even a TV series. Like I have plans on Magic Really Sucks. So that's the first trilogy. So the first 3 books is the first story arc. Then there is the second trilogy, which I have a loose outline for. Yep, Charlize Theron, yep. The second trilogy is already kind of fleshed out. And then there's one-offs. So there's a Sparkles and Pinocchio story. There is a Valk story. And then there is a general resolution to the whole Valk, Melissa, and Ethan thing. That's going to be a thing. Ooh, Scarlett Johansson. Ooh, that would be good. I think having her in anything, in any regard to the show would be fucking phenomenal. She is one of my favorites. But yeah, I'll let you guys in on a little inside secret. So right now the first book is being published by Black Rose, and when I get the rights back to the book, which I believe is in August, so when August rolls around, I'm going to get it back. I'm going to revise some stuff in there. As I read through it, there was some stuff I was like, not happy with that. I'm going to change some things up. And that's also going to extend into the second book and also into the third book. There's some things that I look back in hindsight and go, ooh, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem later on, like especially when I get into the next trilogies and some other stuff. So I'm going to rebrand the Magic Really Suck books. So they're going to be called like, Magic Really Suck series. Because there's always been some confusion when I go to the stores and they look it up and they see all these different Magic Really Sucks. If they didn't see, it looks like somebody's at my front door. I think my wife ordered some food. Yeah, they're looking at it right now. That's what happened. So instead, what's going to end up happening, you're going to see different titles. So right now, for the first book, for example, it's Magic Really Sucks, Revelation. And then the second book is Liberation, and then the third book is Redemption. So I think I'm going to still take those core titles, and then I'm going to use those as the actual book titles. And then on the bottom, it's going to say part of the Magic Really Sucks series. Because there's another one-off that I'm going to be playing on called Superpowers Really Suck. And it's like, the question came to my mind, what happens if somehow superpowers gets introduced into Ethan M's world? Like, what could that effect have with a world full of magic? It's like the opposite of like the MCU, where you have superpowers with certain things, and then magic is like, oh, that's a little thing on the side that nobody really knows about. When you're dealing with like Doctor Strange as an example. The girl that played the Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok, oh yeah, she's fun. She's a fun one. I could see her playing Valk. She's pretty feisty. Like, I liked her even in Men in Black. She played in that. Yeah, she's cute. I could see her pulling off Valk. I could even see oh, that's funny. That would be a funny little thing, because she played Valkyrie, right? And she's playing a character named Valk. Because Odina was a dumb name to her, so because of the one eye and everything. Which is a one eye. Oh, she's a pirate. But so right now I have 7 books planned for the Magic Really Sucks series. This first trilogy, the next trilogy after that, the one-offs, and then that's 10 books, I'm sorry. And then the Superpowers Really Sucks. And that's, I think, yeah, that's a one-off. Superpowers Really Sucks is a one-off. But those characters in their own universes will end up having their own series of stuff. I literally have, I think, 110 books. 110 books that I'm working on. Let's see. If I go to robertrix.com, I think that's where it's at. Yeah, that's where it's at. If I go all the way down to the bottom. Oh, I guess no. I had Superpowers Really Sucks set as a trilogy. I wonder if I have that already all outlined. I think I do. And then the next Magic Really Sucks trilogy is After Darkfall. And the one-offs, Valk, Thieves' Tales, and I Do. Yeah, I literally have a fucking shit ton. Yeah, these are all... Yep, these are all as of Cyber Wars. I forgot about that. So anyway, let's see. Cat. Ooh, her voice would be really good. Actually, all of those characters, all of those actresses we just talked about, they could play Cat easy. But I definitely think, because they have cool, like, Cat's voice in my mind has always been kind of a soothing, sultry voice, right? Very calm, very thing, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I try to put 1 or 2 twists in every book. I always try to do that. And I also try, whenever I write something, if I start to write something that is very kind of cliche or stereotypical, I try to flip that bitch on its ear, as long as it doesn't derail the story. I always try to do that, and I always try to play with, people's preconceived notions of things. Like if they think, oh, a thing is a certain way and blah blah blah, I try to expand on it. Like I think Lost was a really good example of that. You see these characters and you get this preconceived notion of why they are the way they are, and then you get their backstory arc and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. So Sawyer, the reason he is the way he is because his mommy and his family got taken by a con man. Oh wow. And it's just a, it's a cool fucking thing, right? So yeah, I try to do that a lot, and the goal, obviously, with all the things that I do, is to get it as to TV series, to get it as movies, to get it into video games, to get it into board games. Obviously, the books. I'd love to have some graphic novels and some comics and things of that nature. Just because, I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to find ways to have like a video game, for example, be its own game, its own story, but it exists inside of that world. So you come in contact with some of the characters and whatnot, and then even like the comics and stuff, they give another angle to the story, a point of view that you might not have normally had, right? So you come in and you read the book and you're like, wow, that's cool. Then you watch the show, and then the show is different because the shows always have to be different. And the things that I really like is like The Expanse. So if you watch The Expanse and you start to read the books, holy shit, even though they do different things, they complement everything. And that's because the writers are involved in the TV series too. So they get to kind of adjust and tweak certain things because, they're at book 8 right now, so of course there's things that they've got to there. They're like, shit, man, I wish we'd done something a little different back in the beginning. And at the TV show they can do that. It's almost like alternate realities, right? And I love that angle, and so I always want to do stuff like that. See here, didn't like Kat in the one. Now I'm getting to like her again after reading 2. Yeah, and that's why when you get to the 3rd book, which is called Redemption, everything comes full circle. So there's some continuity and there's some things that happen that you're just going to go, wow, okay. And it, for me, that was a really fun journey with the characters. And I think what I'd like to do, now that I've read the whole first book, 3 times myself editing it, 1 time after my aunt, or not my aunt, my cousin and her kids read through and gave me edits, and then another time after Lyra did some edits. I think I know now some of the things that I want to tweak and add some emphasis on, because in the 2nd book you got a whole lot about Kat, you get a lot about Valk. You get a lot about, obviously, actually, yeah, Pinoque's in there, right? Pinoque is definitely in the 2nd book. Because, yeah, and Pinoque and Melissa and stuff like that. So you get to see a little bit more about these other characters. And then there's some about Ethan in there as well, right? And there's a twist in that one. But what I want to do a little bit more on the first book, I want to go back and revisit the first book, because when I first was writing it, I was kind of nervous about the length, and I didn't want it to be more than 300 pages. I was like, I want it to be right around 300, 320, somewhere in that range. I don't know, for some reason I thought that was the length you should go, and you shouldn't go any bigger. And now I'm sitting there reading The Expanse, and The Expanse is like, fuck, it's 500 pages. You know what I mean? And at first, I was thinking, well, I don't want to make the book too big because then people aren't going to want to read it. Well, fuck, it doesn't matter. I make the book 300 pages or I make the book 500 fucking pages. It doesn't really matter because most people aren't fucking reading it in the first place. So if I'm going to do it, I might as well put more words in it so when somebody buys it, they're feeling like they're getting a better bang for their buck. I mean, ultimately the story is what's the selling point. Is it an enjoyable adventure? Did you have fun? Did it take you away? You know, but I thought I did a pretty good job with the magic system and stuff like that, but I didn't really get to touch on some of the things in the beginning that was kind of a narrative hook that I never really fleshed out. Like, really, there wasn't a whole lot of moral ambiguity for Ethan as far as the potential of power corrupting him, right? So, you know, we don't really get a lot of the, is he going to be evil? Is he going to turn to the dark side and blah, 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 right? And so I want to go back and touch on that a little bit and actually give him some more challenges to kind of flesh it out, because I feel like kind of at the end things really rushed because we got to the Fae Kingdom and then we had that brilliant scene with the king and the drinking and whatnot, and then boom, we're right to the last card and then the twist, you know. Yeah, if it's a good book story, it doesn't matter how many pages are. Yeah, like a lot of my novellas, I absolutely love them. I love them. But I think when you're dealing with something as large as Magic Really Sucks, and you're looking at these characters, I want to put some more empathetic hooks in there, and I want to put some more depth into Ethan, because I did a lot of telling and not a lot of showing. And here's a brilliant example. Like, I did reviews. If you guys hadn't seen my reviews on The Expanse books 1 and 2, those are on the Angry Jackalope side. But there was a part, for example, where let's just say I'm talking to Renee. Okay, so the dialogue goes, Renee, did you really have to stab him in the eye? Renee responded with, yeah, I did. Okay, so that's one I'm telling, okay? Now let's embellish that a little bit. Renee, did you really have to stab him in the eye like that? Renee paused, stared at me for briefest of seconds, his eyes widened. Yes, I did, he said too quickly. Oh shit, he said too quickly, right? So now that implies a little bit more. So there's little tweaks I can do, going back and crafting of the story to make it have a little more feeling to it. I thought it had brilliant dialogue. I don't think there's a lot of the dialogue that I'm mad at. As I was reading the dialogue, I was chuckling in my mind. I thought it's pretty funny, especially Sparkles. Sparkles is a fucking clown. She is so fucking awesome. This is shit she does. I don't know how many's in a yearling, but I do know that there have been, like, this Expanse, like, it's amazing. Like, they're juggling characters just like I am, especially when by the time you get to book 3, I'm juggling a lot of characters. But it's interesting, right? And you know, there's parts in here where I touch on like the different factions, right? But you don't get a lot. You start to get more as you get into book 3. You got some in book 2, but book 3, everything kind of really comes to head on everything. But when I have my next trilogy, after Darkfall, that one I already had planned on touching on the training grounds, touching on the relationship between Kat and Ethan, you know, as he was spending the 10 years there training. And I did that so I gave myself a whole lot of room for growth. And I think that was also a thing that was kind of rushed and people didn't get it. I want to show a lot more of the fear and a lot more of the overwhelming nature of the stuff that Ethan is going through as he's being told these things, and then show how, you know, in certain situations he's pretty inept, right? Like he's not very very strong at certain things. But then when he comes back, you know, instead of just saying, "Ooh, he looks like a badass" or something else, I want to start to show it, right? And have the reader make the declaration, Jesus Christ, Ethan's a fucking badass, right? And so I want to put some more combat in there. I want to put some more stuff in there that is more quote-unquote eye candy. So if it is turned into a show or something else, those pieces will, you know, you'll look at and go, yeah, that makes sense. That has to be in the show or in the movie, you know, regardless of budget or anything else. It's got to be in there. And I wanted to put a little bit more meat on Ethan. I kind of walked away feeling like, yeah, he's the main character of the story, but like I don't know, maybe I'm being really overly critical, but like I kind of felt like I wanted him to have more soul, if that makes any sense. So make books that are popular as Dune and Harry Potter. As Dune and Harry Potter. Yeah, see, Dune is amazing because Dune came along and changed the landscape of sci-fi, right? With my stuff, you know, it's just kind of urban fantasy, young adult urban fantasy type stuff for Magic Really Sucks, specifically because I made a point with no cursing and stuff like that. But even when I was reading it, woo, Randy, he's gonna have major role to play, because I can't talk about what happens in book 3, but there's stuff that happens in book 3 that changes the dynamics of things. So Randy is, you know, he actually has a little bit more, and you end up learning a little bit more about him too. Not sure if it was the second book or the third book that you learn a lot more about him, and then you learn. I mean, the whole core concept of Magic Really Sucks is there's a lot of things that you come in contact with that can change your world, right? And then there's a lot of stuff that mistakes you can make, but then there's always a redemption possibility, right? And you know, it's like it ended up being a really kind of an emotional ride for me too, because there's a lot of stuff that was going on in my personal life as I was writing these 3 books here. I wrote them all in 7 months, so they all got written in a very short period of time. And then I go back and I read it and I'm like, wow. And I'm pretty amazed. But now that I've been doing a lot of reading of really good writers and stuff like that, I'm realizing that it's good, but it can be better, right? And I mean, the trick here is to make it good enough and then let it go, because you can never stop improving something. It's like the artist that keeps, I'm going to add a little bit here and add a little bit here. But the problem is when you add a little bit, you lose some of that raw, natural essence. Like I remember a lot of good musicians, I would listen to their early takes and I'd be like, man, that should have been it right there. Here's a fun thing for you. If you guys are a Captain Blackball's, if you like Captain Blackball, you're gonna love the fucking 3rd book. Holy shit. There are some, oh my god. The 3rd book, I kind of just had a chance to go bananas on the fantasy side, and I had a lot of fun with it. And you finally get to see why Valk's been carrying them fucking eggs around forever and a day. But anyway, you know, your band is putting out a song and it's really good, and then you hear them revising and polishing, and then they end up with something that is super polished, super clean, but it lost something, right? So that's what I got to make sure. I got to make sure as I'm going down this path that I don't lose the core essence of what I was writing, what I was trying to capture from the story playing out in my head. Because, you know, when I write, I don't usually have a beginning, an end, and a middle. Like with these books, I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. I just was writing a story that was playing out in my fucking head, and I was happy that continuity-wise, 90% of it stuck. Like, I stuck the landing 90% of the time in regards to story continuity from one to the other to the other. And I'm like, dude, that's dog shit lucky. Oh, and that screen froze on me. Is it froze on the other side here? Let me see. Seems like right when I move my arms and I do stuff, I do some kind of motion, it kind of hiccups here for a second. Let's see, I'm waiting for the other one. Oh, see, now I'm back again. I'm gonna see if it froze on the other side here. So I'm like doing a recording and watching myself at the same time. And so there it is. There's the hand movement, and it seems like right after that it froze. Did it freeze for you guys? Yep, it fucking froze. Anyway, yeah, look at that. It was like video output was low. Huh. User experience buffering. That sucks. My internet seems to be shitty. But anyway, seems like we're back on a good tip here, but over there it was saying it was slow. Sometimes it's awesome not to know where your story... Yeah, because really, the stories don't end. The problem, the situations that the characters were dealing with is resolved to a certain satisfactory level, but they're still there. You know, they're still there. And that's the other thing too. There were certain things that happen in certain stories. Like, I'll talk about Convergence 2012. There was a part in there where I was going to torture and really fuck up one of the main characters. And I didn't want to do it, because I really liked the character. Tim, I liked him. And I was like, man, I don't want to do this to him, right? Was Grindo's mother inspiration for that Cone character? I pull a lot from mythology. There is a lot of mythology that are sprinkled in my stories. And sometimes it's just kind of pulled from... I think it's pulled from like the universe or collective consciousness or something, because, for example, Convergence 2012, the locations where the Earth milk was going to come up, I didn't know where it was going to be. So what I did is I brought up Google Earth, and I just randomly clicked on spots here, here, and here. I mean, literally, boop, boop, boop. That's all I did. And I noted them down, and then I said, okay, it's going to be in this area. And so I researched those areas pretty heavily just to make sure I could see what the buildings looked like, what the weather patterns were like, what was some of the environment that people would be seeing if they vacation there or something else. So I did a lot of image searches, and then I did some things where people did vacations. I watched videos on that to see what they were filming, so I could kind of vicariously pull some of those elements in the story. So, you know, we had Bimini. And then we had a spot in Canada, I believe. Oh, let's see. What did he say? Was Grindo's mother inspiration for that one character? Possibly. I'll have to find out from you more specifically which one you're talking about. But actually, one thing that you guys are going to really trip on is semantics. There's very specific reasons that certain characters are named the way that they're named. And I can't elaborate any more on that, but when you read the third book, and you see the big objective there, then we'll have another debriefing, or we can maybe have a thing inside of the Discord where we could have a spoiler area where people can come together and talk. And if you know you're going in there, you're going to hear spoilers. So if you haven't read, you know, the first book, second book, or the third book, you probably don't want to go in there, because we'll probably be talking about really detailed stuff. So we could do that on the Discord side. Research in hyperdimensional physics with angles. Hyperdimensional physics with angles. I don't think I did anything purposely on that. If there was something that resembled it, then it was inadvertent. There's quite a few things that sometimes will end up in my books that I don't know why they're there. Like, I've had people say Convergence 2012 felt like it was two different writers in that particular book. And that one, man, when I'd sit down and write, man, it would just flow. And it felt like that story was being transmitted to me, and I was just relaying it. So there was some stuff that was in there that when I was doing the locations, for example, Bimini, I found out later Bimini was a spot that Edward Casey, I believe, he was a psychic or something, and he was saying that Atlantis was near there and stuff, and so it worked out. It worked out pretty funny. Could have been I had seen something on Edward Casey early on and just didn't remember it, and then when I was writing the story, it just came out of my subconscious, or whatever. There was a lot of weird shit that happened while I was writing that particular story, but it's just a thing that I very rarely know what's going to happen, and then when I do, like when I was going to have to torture Tim, I didn't want to do it, and I had to put the book down because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go there, and I didn't want to see what was going to happen, and so I did it, and it was but it was an interesting way that I did it. I cheated. But in cheating, I gave myself a satisfactory out. So it's kind of like I'm God of my stories. And then there was a character, and I was like, ooh, I really don't want that to happen to this character. So how can I change things? How can I change things up to make it work for me, right? And so that's what I do a lot of times. Okay, so you said, look at my messenger. So let me get over here real quick. I'll get over here, and then we can take a peek at that. Alright, so take a second. Looks like for it to load up. Oh, no, there it is. Popped up. Okay. So, if I go like this. Oh. Yeah, that's going to be expanded on in the book 3. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to get expanded on. You wait and see. She kind of was an amalgamation of a lot of archetypes that I've seen in literature and movies and stuff like that. And when you get the full backstory on her, which I think also plays out in book 3, it makes a lot of sense as well. So, but no, there wasn't it wasn't that she specifically is she is, in a way, she's the mother and there is a father. So that's going to be all I can say about that. Oh, you want to see what happens between Mordecai and Fiona? You will. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. That's fun too. Points that are at 23 degrees latitude and longitude. Yeah, there's a lot of location things that kind of happen and end up in almost all my stories. I kind of feel like for whatever reason, there's something that's constantly broadcast to my brain about places like Antarctica that I'm so fixated on. I just can't get away from it. And as you get into book 3, shit, your mind is really gonna go, what the fuck? Because in book 2, it was already going, what? And then you can see some of my quote-unquote flat Earth theories being fleshed out for not necessarily flat, right? Let's see. Let's see what we are talking about here. Let's see. Let's see. 23. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to. When I'm at point 23 in longitude from the equator, 23rd parallel. Yeah, we'll have to talk a little more offline about that. But yeah, it's yeah, Fake Cat King. He's a cool one. I love that guy. He's fun. He's fun. No, I haven't. Like I said, I just woke up not too long ago. I've been literally in bed suffering. Suffering from the good times that we had yesterday. Shadow Master and Shane and Kua and Kalai and the whole crew. Oh my hell. We drank so fucking much. My wife even got completely fucking shit-faced. I got carried into the room and basically tucked in, and they helped me put my CPAP on, and I went to sleep. And then I don't know how much time passed by, and my wife comes in and she's like, I'm like, hey, don't throw up on me. She's like, I'm not. I'm like, well, if you're gonna throw up over there. Don't throw up on me. And poor thing, she was up and down all night just throwing up. Like, I'm lucky. I don't throw up very often. As long as I have some food in my stomach, I don't throw up. But her, she was throwing up. It was so bad. Even the dog this morning, the dog was like out of it. I was out of it. I got up, cleaned up a little bit, made sure I didn't lose my wallet and shit, plugged my phone in, and I went back and laid down. So, have I seen the movie The Judge? I don't think so. Doesn't sound familiar. The Judge, huh? The movie, The Judge. The Judge. Robert Downey Jr. looks like some kind of legal drama film. Is that what you're talking about? Robert Downey Jr.? We literally have some big hitters in that motherfucker. Let's see here. Where is all it? I have so many fucking emails, guys. That's pretty funny for a fucking Sunday. Jesus. I have 100 emails from yesterday till today. That's with the spam filter on and everything. Look at that later. I'm done. I was like, holy shit. I need to get up and do my show, because I was seeing posts coming in. I was like, fuck, what time is it? So I was like, all right. I'll do a show. There's some cool music in it. Oh, cool. There's some cool music. So, yeah, Magic really sucks. I have plans for that, but I kind of want to rebrand it, redo. I have some better art I want to use, so I think I'm gonna redo the covers, do it in such a way that all of the spines create an image on the spines as well, and just kind of redo them a little bit. So I think that's going to be the focus for the end of the year. And before I get finalized versions, I think I'm going to take the 3 that are in existence right now and create a one-off. I did this before, where the whole story is in one book. And there were some people that liked, Robert Duvall and Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't know who that is, but I just saw Robert Duvall in it. And then that way, this season for like right around Christmas, I will have the first trilogy as a single volume. And since I have access back to my books again, I don't have to worry about Black Rose or anything else. I think I'll do that. In that way, I will have something kind of cool for 2020, you know. Because so far 2020 has been very interesting. It's been just an up and down, crazy ride. You know, just craziness. But one thing that I have made a solid decision on is Rymaz Publishing is going to get fully vested, meaning I'm going to create probably a C Corp, maybe an LLC. I might do an LLC. But I'm going to do one for Rymaz. And then, okay, I know what you're talking about now. I'm going to do Rymaz up, fully legit, bank account, the whole 9 yards. Get it listed and everything as a publishing house. And then I'm going to start reaching out to different catalogs and whatnot, and then it'll just be a totally legit publishing house. And so, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about now. And so I think that's the other big goal for this year. And then I think I'm also going to do some rebranding of the real-time story time, and because I want to simplify the logo, because right now the logo is just really busy. It's got, Valk and Sparkles and Chemo, and they're kind of coming off the story with an hourglass behind it. So I'm going to find a more simplistic logo for the real-time story time, and really brand it out and really start putting a budget together to advertise stuff. Because the reason that we stopped doing the real-time story time was it was usually the same 3 to 4 people that would show up, and the keywords were starting to repeat. We were starting to see cycles of the same sets of keywords, and it wasn't being exciting and challenging anymore. But I think if we find a way to get more people in and interacting with it, I think then it gets to be a little bit more interesting. And maybe there's some way I can also do things where people can write the keywords and they just appear on the screen, right? That could be bad too. I don't know. I better think this through, because I don't want somebody to put something really fucking inappropriate and then I just get fucking banned, because it's, in this day and age, the shit you say can get you canceled pretty quick. So we gotta be kind of careful with some of the shit that I put up. But I don't know. I really want to expand and find a way to do more interesting things with it. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, Sparkles, let me think. She likes being in the cat form. She shifts to human form sometimes when they're like eating and stuff. So I think in the second book, you guys got to see her as like a teenager. In the first book, she was kind of acting like a baby, because she was like, fuck it, I want you guys to carry me around. I like to watch the normals freak out when you feed me fried food and shit, So she was just having fun. But normally she walks around in her fake cat form, and she can at will be invisible. That's not even a spell with her. Like, not only can she shift into different planes, she could also make it so you can't see her. She doesn't do it very often, because she finds that most of the time normals don't even pay attention. So even if she's walking around as this really large, giant, fucking sparkling cat, people don't pay attention. That's just the nature of magic. Sometimes it's right in front of you just don't see what it is. You don't see what's going on. And even Valk, you'll see Valk using glamour spells and stuff like that to hide her true appearance, and that's just because she's using it as a form of manipulation to get more money on jobs and stuff, or to be able to get information and track people or whatever. So I kind of want to there's a lot there's a lot more that I know about the characters that I want to start to add in, and like I really want to perfect my storytelling craft. That's the thing that's why I'm doing a lot of reading. Like I don't really like Stephen King, but he did say something that I do agree with 100,000%, which is a good writer writes a lot and they read a lot. And I think that's important because as I'm reading stuff, and even if I don't necessarily like the story, as I'm watching the way that they're writing and certain tools that they use, was fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, the King's nickname. Yep. Yeah, that was and that was that's one of the things that was also an influence from real life, right? So we used to have a friend that was on a channel a lot, and when I first had the dream about Magic Really Sucks, he said, write the fucking books. I was like, yeah, you're right. I think I will. And I talked to the wife. She's like, yeah, write the books, but don't curse in it. And so I thought, oh, as a cool homage or respect for a friend who likes to use that character as an avatar on a lot of his social stuff, I purposely added that into the story as a way to say what's up, give a little shout out, little Easter egg. Same thing on the third book. There's a reference to a magical person that hangs out from time to time on the Ingrid Jackalope stuff, and he was just going through stuff. He's had a lot of different types of things happen. Some not so good, and some whatever. And I wanted to kind of give him a little nudge. So there's a character in the third book. If you're eagle-eyed and you're paying attention, you'll see there's a reference, which is kind of fun. And I like to do stuff like that for you guys. Like when I'm writing stuff, and you guys are part of it. For example, Harry's situation. You guys are in the book. You guys are actually in the book. If you gave keywords that were used in that story, you guys were listed in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Here's one right here. Yeah. So, for example, let's see. I'm pretty sure Garen's in here. Let's see. Vixen, Backwoods, Magic, Paula, Garen, Liralope, Brian, Bear, Backwoods, and Brian. So, it gives me joy when I get to do stuff and you guys can go and look at it later and be like, yeah, I helped come up with some of those funny ass keywords, like Goran's Slave Girl of Florida, butt in the front, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, this is another example of a fun story that is pretty short. I mean, there's only what? Let's see. I want to say, yeah, there's 80 pages in this. That is a pretty short fucking story. But being that this was just like an origin, this was like a, episode 1, and there's probably gonna need to be, probably 5. So 5 times 80, that'd be like 400 pages. Yep, that's about right for a novel, right? So anyway, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to get in and kind of just hang out and chit chat with you guys, unless you guys have any other questions. I'm gonna start winding it down because I have no juice right now. I'm just so tired. But I wanted to get in because I told you guys we'd do a show. Next week will be a lot better. I don't have anything going on next week. Let me look at my calendar super quick. 14th. I have something on the 21st, so there won't be a show on the 21st. And there may not be a show on the 28th either. So what might have to happen is I might have to move the real-time story time to Fridays, Friday the 19th, and then July 3rd, because that week of the 21st all the way to like the 1st is a hectic week for me. I've got people coming in town from out of town that I'm going to be doing stuff with, and then I also have like a camping trip type thing that I've been invited to for years and years and years, and I finally said, if the world doesn't fucking blow up, then yeah, count me in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 23rd's your birthday. Okay. I'll make sure that we say some fun work. Let's see. I'm going to try more. Canada's great except for the fucking zombies next week, but I have to work on Manders. Okay, I'm going to try to say this. Taiaha. Taiaha? Is that how you say that? Taiaha? Yeah, I'm trying to do more videos, but even on the Angry Jackalope side, I'm trying to gear those more towards entertainment and things of that nature. And it seems like I'm getting some new followers in that regards over there. They're really digging the whole Expanse stuff. And I've been doing a lot of reading lately. That's been one of the things that I've been doing to kind of get my mind back into the creative mode, because all of this negativity and all this other stuff's just been really sucking the energy out of me. And so it was important for me to do the big party last night with all the guests and everything else, because that allowed me to really decompress. Holy shit, I needed to decompress because I have just had so much pent up negativity. Kind of wish I did throw up a lot and get all of that out. It would have been probably cathartic, but I don't throw up very often. But it was good though. It was good being with people, and you know, I have a new list now. Talk about it on Angry Jackalope side, but like there are certain companies that I'm just completely boycotting because of their totally illogical Nazi social distancing and mask rules that I'm just like, this is completely stupid. But anyway, that's not for this channel. That'll be on the Angry Jackalope side. We'll be doing more on that. But Carl's Jr. will never get another dime from me again. So just so you know. And yeah, that's it. That's it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. It's not quite an hour, but you know, about 53 minutes. I think it's pretty good. It's 53. I could have ended it better at 52 in anticipation of Paula's birthday. She'll be 52 on the 23rd. Yes. So we're Facebook friends, so I should see it on Facebook too. I hate that, but I have to. So a lot of times I use Facebook to remind me of people's fucking birthdays because I'm horrible at that shit. But anyway, I just want to get on here and give you guys a little bit of content, spend some time with you folks and stuff like that. Maybe Rob should have a good sweat shit. I've been well, unless you're talking a sweat lodge, I've been doing quite a bit of sweating lately. I've been doing hard work and healing up and getting stronger and stuff. The wound is gone now, so you can see there's where it was at. Now it's just a little dimple, no more big giant bruise and all the other stuff. So I'm feeling better. And I'm starting to do a little bit of training and whatnot, and so hopefully I'll be in swinging shape pretty soon here, because I do want to do a Kage full review. And yeah, I'm gonna put the little blood in there and everything else. But anyway, that's it. Alright guys, be safe. I will see you guys again next week, and then I will have a schedule. And of course on Discord, I think I will create a magic really sucks section for discussion and stuff that has spoilers, so you guys can post questions up, and then I can kind of answer them and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, I'm not opposed to it. I'll check it out. I'll do something like that at some point. I like to try different things. You know, anything that's an experience, I'm always down for, because it's just more story fodder, more stuff to tell stories about, right? Alright guys, that's gonna be it. Be safe. find some joy and stuff, and just try to be positive with all the craziness, because if you let the craziness get to you, it's like a real infection. It'll eat your brains. Alright guys, hasta luego.